And welcome to the May 1st meeting of the Glendale Sustainability Commission. Meetings are broadcast live on Glendale TV, viewable on Spectrum Cable Channel 6 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Meetings are also streamed live in HD on the city webpage, glendaleca.gov/live, and on youtube.com/myglendale, and on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, iOS and Android devices using a free app called Cablecast and choosing Glendale TV from the menu. Meetings are also archived on the city website for viewing anytime at glendaleca.gov/agendas. Call 818-548-4013 for program schedules. For public comments and questions during the meeting, call 818-937-8100. Public comments on a specific agenda item will be taken when that item is discussed. If you have any questions about matters on the agenda or requests for assistance, please contact the city clerk at 818-548-2090 during regular business hours. All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Shakarian?
Here.
Commissioner Werner?
Here.
Commissioner Pickerington? Vice Chair Cartunian? Chairperson Bazemore?
Here.
Ex officio Sanchez?
Here.
Ex officio Hazarian?
Here.
Okay. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We would like to acknowledge that we are holding this meeting in the city of Glendale in Tovagnar, the home and traditional lands of the Gabrielino Tongva people. We would like to pay our respects to the elders, both past and present, and to the Gabrielino Tongva communities who continue to be stewards of this land. Glendale's history did not start with colonialism. Indigenous communities have lived in this area and been stewards of this land for hundreds of years and numerous generations. The Gabrielino Tongva communities and culture continues to grow and flourish. We encourage our audience to learn more about the Gabrielino Tongva tribe and the many indigenous communities in California and beyond. To get started, you can find a list of books and resources at eglendalelac.org/Native American. What's next?
1C, report regarding posting of the agenda. The agenda for the May 1st, 2025 meeting of the Sustainability Commission was posted April 25, 2025 on the bulletin board outside City Hall. 2, approval of minutes. 2A, approval of the minutes of the Commission regular meeting held February 6, 2025.
Okay. Do my commissioners have any comments or edits for the minutes?
Move to approve.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay.
If I may inquire, were you able to review the minutes or watch the tape?
Yes, I've reviewed the minutes and I approve.
And did you watch the tape of the meeting? Because there were minutes of the meeting.
I have not watched the tape.
Okay, I would therefore recommend that you abstain from any vote on the minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and for this, do we roll call? Yes?
Commissioner Werner,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinkerton,
Yes.
Chairperson Bazemore.
Yes.
And then 3, board member staff comments.
Okay. Anyone have anything to share out from the commission?
Well, I would like to welcome our new commissioner, Shant Chakirian. Did I say that right? Okay, and encourage him to introduce himself and let us know about his interest in sustainability.
Great. Well, pleasure to be part of the committee. My name is Shant Shakarian, and I am a former engineer. Now I am a attorney in intellectual property, and I have experience both with inventions and technologies related to alternative fuels, sustainability, all sorts of technologies to make the world a more sustainable, environmentally friendly place. And I've been a Glendale resident for over 10 years, enjoyed being part of the city, and excited about the future that is beholding us. And I'm really excited to help the city move forward in its goals towards greater sustainability and get adoption of making this a place with clean air, clean water, and just a great place to live.
Thank you and welcome again.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to have you.
I just have a question probably for Jillian. I remember at one of our last meetings, our former Commissioner Alec introduced a letter. I think it was a comment letter that he wanted to submit. Was it to council or to Transportation Commission? What is the process for that? Do we bring in a draft, agendize it at the prior meeting?
So there was the letter regarding drive-throughs, which was submitted to the city manager, and then I believe it was provided to council. I've got to verify that. But are you talking about a subsequent letter?
No, I think he had a hard copy for all of us at one meeting, and we signed off on the contents, if I
Right,
recall.
correct.
Okay, so if someone else wanted to do the same thing, would we just bring it to a meeting, or would we have to agendize it?
You'd have to agendize it that you want to do
Okay.
it at a future
Okay.
meeting.
So I think I'd like to agendize a letter about outreach that the commission could do to the community to discuss, and I'll bring a draft letter for the next meeting.
So a letter regarding,
Outreach to the community, whether speaker series, field trips, so to speak, that we could arrange for students or anyone else in the community. I know the city used to sponsor one where people were involved in tours of different major businesses in Glendale, and I think it might be something interesting to go to major infrastructure dealing with sustainability, whether it's a power plant, water treatment plant, landfill, MRF, that type of thing.
Just so I understand, this would be recommending to council that the commission take more of a stance or a certain stance on outreach efforts?
Exactly, and I
Okay.
see this is something we'd have to, coordinate with 3 David's office, but that we would make ourselves available, any of us who are interested in participating in those types of activities.
Okay.
yeah, I'd have to find out whether we need permission from the city council to do that. So we'll work on that and we'll bring our recommendations to the next meeting. Best way forward.
So I second agendizing that then.
Yeah, please.
One other comment, the state of California about 3 weeks ago, I think, officially announced that styrofoam or expanded polystyrene foodware, so-called EPS foodware, is banned officially statewide, even though the underlying bill, SB 54, has been kicked back to the starting line again. That was going to look at the achieved recycling rates of different types of plastics and packaging, but the EPS foodware ban did go through. So I think there are still stores selling that here in Glendale, and they should not be. I just wanted to let everybody know, because that was one of our big debates about foodware, to-go foodware, particularly in restaurants, but it's officially banned now. Thank you.
Statewide, and that's effective immediately?
Statewide,
or-
yes.
Okay.
Yep, it's in
Thank
place
you.
now.
So by EPS, you mean expanded polystyrene, just for the public that doesn't know what EPS
Yes,
stands for?
foam, the so-called foam foodware, yeah. And it's foodware only, not other EPS products.
Anything else from the commission? I think
Do the
Please.
the commissioners have anything to say?
Well, one of our proposed projects is going to be held in about 2 weeks, the prom teen clothing swap in the Glendale Central Library Teen Center. And so we're very excited about that, and we're promoting it through the social media apps and whatnot.
And we'll get into the Earth Day Fair more in a later agenda part, but that was another part of the student commissioner projects, which has now passed. So we'll get on it later.
do you care to share more, just a little more about the clothing swap?
Yes, so it's going to be inspired by the usual clothing swaps held by the Sustainability Commission, but it's centered more on a teen audience because we want to reach out to people our age to learn more about sustainable practices and through a more accessible way, which is through a clothing swap. Since it's prom season, people are looking to buy dresses, and to not spend as much, they could just hop in the library and look for some.
Excellent. And that's 2 weeks from, do you have the date and
May
time for that?
10th.
May 10th, thank you. Okay. Very exciting.
I don't know if you think this is appropriate, but would that be a venue to promote against fast fashion, which is fashion manufactured to last literally probably months, less than a year, and then you toss it?
I'll let Samantha expand, but part of the proposal that Samantha had was to have some education against fast fashion too. And the reason that the student commissioners proposed the idea in the first place was to, have a different channel that wasn't subscribing to fast fashion. And during the same event, we're going to have a tailor. So if there's any item there that, the student wants, but it just doesn't fit them, they can just have it tailored right then and there. And we're also having a photo booth there. So if there's a student that is not going to prom but is still picking out an outfit, then they can take a prom-themed photo. And we're going to have a makeup artist there too to do some consultations. And we're also giving out goodie bags that were donated by businesses.
Very impressive. Thank you.
Great. Well, I will, I guess, conclude this item with just a kind of remarks about the state of things. Nothing prepared here, but we are living in a time where there are a lot of headwinds when it comes to sustainability and environmental work. This is at all levels, but certainly most notably at the federal level. So I just would commend my fellow commissioners and city staff for their work, their continued work on this kind of thing, the things that we're here to talk about and focus on, and we're all in this together for the next however long, and thank you all for your commitment to this commission. So that's all. So
Oh, I just had one last remark I just thought of, but we'd like to wish former Sustainability Commissioner Alec Bartrasoff good luck on the Transportation Commission that he's now on. He was one of the original commissioners along with Commissioner Pinkerton, Cartoonian, and I. And, we hope that he does great things on his new commission. So we appreciated his expertise while he served with us, and he's already missed, and just wanted to acknowledge his 4 years on the commission and to wish him well on his next adventure.
And we hope that he comes and speaks as needed, because I'm sure we would value his input from the audience. All right. So thank you for that. Okay, what is next?
Next is oral communications. Discussion is limited to items within the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. Each speaker is allowed 5 minutes. Sustainability Commission members may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision. The matter may be referred to staff for investigation and report. We have no callers, but we do have a card. Alan Dish?
Sustainability Commission and Chair Bazemore. Good evening. My name is Alan Dish. I am, because prom was mentioned, I can't help myself. I was prom king also, but so it's good to be here in that capacity as well. At Clark, I was. but also Earth Day. I'm here for, in a bit of a sadder note, that my birthday was Earth Day, but it wasn't a good Earth Day. Not because of the fair, which was very good, although I couldn't go for too long in Verdugo Park, but the trees that unfortunately were cut down in North Central at the, there was a lot of opposition to it and so on at the development site. That's why I asked our new mayor, who was elected recently, selected, I asked him if we could impose some stronger measures, declare, I don't know, a state of emergency, so then he can pass some executive orders, as it were, to put a ban, pause on cutting any trees, especially those trees, one more note, were quite massive. Like, they were sequoias. I consider them Glendale sequoias. So that's what I want to speak about, that the mayor gave a wonderful reply to my proposal, which was very intelligent. He said that he would do it in so many words, but that he could not do it because of the charter and so on. So I went and asked the Charter Commission, which is meeting now too, but I wanted to ask you as well to see what is in your capacity, as it were, to pass some kind of recommendations to the City Council, because again, I'm not so opposed to, even Trump now is criticized for being too dictatorial. I'm not so opposed to the form, in the sense that we, as you, Mr. Bazemore, also said, are approaching a certain complex but urgent situation with ecology, the fires and so on, but also some developers, that we may need to impose some stronger measures, basically. And the way to do it is we need some kind of charismatic leader, because the people, I'm not so sure, will awaken spontaneously. Like, we need some kind of, someone who will push them. So that's why I shocked the mayor by proposing, because our former mayors are also criticized for being dictatorial in other ways, but we will need, I cannot put it in any other way. I don't want to keep going on this point, although it is urgent. So let me just conclude. Even FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was also making certain decisions, bypassing Congress and so on, of course, in the opposite direction. So that's all I'm saying, that I'm not so opposed to having a kind of mayoral power that can do those decisions. And commissions here play a very significant role, like, to be pathetic, but I'm sincere, Commissioner Werner, that when you said that you're not sure how much power you have, don't be so pessimistic. I think even the detractors of, let's say, environmental movement often claim there's too much of their influence and so on. Of course, I think not enough. We should have more of your influence. I would like so much to pause for a moment. You are welcome to ask questions, but I would like to also go back to the Charter Review Commission. But you see my point, that we need stronger ecological measures. The only way to do it is with some kind of stronger leadership. Otherwise, our fate is some kind of a catastrophe, maybe, but we have to accept that fate and, as it were, work against it. So now I seriously stop. Thank you. I consider this honor to have been here, and welcome to the new commissioner, and, well, thank you. If that's enough, I'll stop now.
Mr. Dish, one question. I am
Yes,
curious,
please.
since I'm not aware of what this is, where the trees were cut down and what happened. Was this
Of course, yes,
can you
yes.
explain a little more what took place?
Yes, I'm sorry if I'm a bit too obtuse. It was on North Central, basically. It's called the Glendale Garden Apartments, which
Right.
were at some point involved already 2 years ago in a basically case at one of the commissions, planning commission, I think. Basically, the developer cut most of the trees, did leave some of them, enough.
It's
for,
about
as it
40
were-
trees, I believe, yeah. I think,
It's incredible.
Jillian had, like, you were working on that case, but I guess it's under litigation. I don't know if there's anything that you can mention about it. But it is a reminder that, you know, we tried very hard to get protections for privately owned trees.
Absolutely.
We tried, if you look back at past meetings, you'll see how hard we tried to do that, and it just, we got nowhere with city
You're very
council.
right. It's crucial to mention that it was on private property and that there are certain issues here. Yes.
Perhaps, would you be able to bring us the actual section of the city charter laws that pertain to tree protections, what the current review process is, if there is any, for maintaining trees on private property?
Commissioner Pinkerton, members of the commission, we have a tree preservation ordinance, but that applies to indigenous trees. So we're talking about the bay laurel, the California sycamore, and the California oak trees. We do not regulate trees on private property outside of those trees at this time, and I think that's perhaps what the speaker was referencing. It is in our Glendale Municipal Code.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tisch. Thank
I
you.
appreciate having
Yes.
the meeting. Thank you.
That was the only card? Okay.
Just one other follow-up comment to that, because it's not just indigenous, but also large trees, because we know how long it takes, you know, they do replacement, where you take trees out and plant new trees, but the years required for those trees to replace the same, you know, provide the same shade, air cleaning properties, all those things are the ones that were torn out. It's a lengthy process. And I think it's at least 7 years before you really can start measuring climate offsets from trees. So maybe we need to expand it. That might be intrusive, but to size of trees too, not just considering the species, but the size of the tree. If it's older, certain years or a certain size, that there have to be a review process.
Yeah, we tried that. We tried the legacy tree
Yeah.
thing, and there was concern about the, you know, people's right to develop their property, and if the tree's on a property line. I mean, you know, it's not simple, but somehow Pasadena has a very long list of trees that are protected that go far beyond what Glendale does. So I think there is room for improvement, and I know, I've heard from a lot of people who are just you know, heartsick over trees, not just at the 311 North Glendale project, but at others, that just seeing trees, you know, cut down when we're in the midst of all this climate change is disheartening. So I understand that.
But a motion to consider adopting what Pasadena has in place.
I don't know if we can at this,
No, it has to be agendized.
No
Yeah.
debate or decision.
so we don't wanna stray
Certainly, if
too
there's a new
far.
agenda item that the the commission would be interested in having on a future agenda, that could be a recommendation.
yeah.
And with support of another commission member, could be considered for a future.
Yeah, we need to
agenda. So
look
you-
at trees in light of the new fire maps that just came out too. And so one of the things in that particular project on North Central, and I looked at the map myself just to make sure, but given the new maps that just came out in March, that property is in a high fire hazard severity zone. So that's how the developer was able to get away with removing so many trees and trimming back others, is because he could say, oh, it's, you know, it's a fire hazard. And so that's something we need to look at and figure out, you know, what do we do? I mean, it's one of those vicious cycles. The more trees you cut down, the warmer things get, and the more extreme climate events you have. So, you know, it's
So,
a tough
yeah.
situation.
Sorry to interject. I don't want to stray too far into a discussion here on this item, but if a commission member would like to make a motion to bring this back, we have a second.
I would like to move that we do bring this back and consider other options and more expansive approach.
It would be, I guess, or a request.
A
Thank
request to
you. Thank you.
agendize the topic.
Yep.
Thank you for keeping me in mind.
Okay,
There you
I second that.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay. What is next?
Next is 5 action items. 5A, selection of Sustainability Commission Chairperson and Vice Chairperson for the 2025-2026 term. 1, motion to elect the Chairperson of the Sustainability Commission. 2, motion to elect the Vice Chairperson of the Sustainability Commission.
Good evening, Chairperson Bazemore and members of the Sustainability Commission. So this is the annual selection of the chair and vice chairperson. Just for your information, I did reach out to Commissioner Cartoonian, asking him if he was going to put himself forward for the chairperson position. He did not respond, so I do not know at this time. So I just want to give the Commission that information. So it's up to the commissioners to nominate yourselves or one of your fellow commissioners to be the chair and then the vice chair. And there is one error in the report. I do apologize. The recommendation is to select a chairperson and a vice chairperson at this meeting for a one-year term, and it said ending April. It actually ends in March. So that is, according to our procedures, it's after the 1st of March is when we select the new chair for the upcoming year. So it'll be through March 2026 will be the term of the chair and the vice chair.
Well,
I would like to nominate myself as chair, since it's kind of my turn, if you use the same rules that the mayor, the mayor's selection goes, hopefully a little more smoothly, but as far as like having served the longest on the commission since being chair, and for vice chair, do we do this all at once or is it separate?
It'll be separate.
Okay. So for that, I'd like to put myself out there.
I don't have a nomination at this time, but
I'm happy to second Commissioner Warner. if it's
The
appropriate
second is
time.
not required,
Not
it's just
required.
whether there are
okay.
other
Yeah.
nominations.
yeah. Any other nominations?
Nominations?
I guess we'll come back to the vice chair, but yeah. Without any other nominations, take roll call for the one nomination we have.
Commissioner Tahakarian,
Here.
Commissioner Werner,
Yes.
Commissioner Pinkerton,
Yes.
Chairperson Bazemore.
Yes, right.
So is this where the gavel gets passed?
You can stay there if you want, because, or if you prefer, we could move the signs,
Okay.
the nameplates as well.
That's right, okay.
Okay, so, all right, so do we have nominations for vice chair?
I'll nominate myself. We can repeat what we did before.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Okay.
No, any,
Can-
Yeah, it has
Please.
been, the longest, you've been waiting, you're kind of, I think, were you chair when I was, or vice chair when I was chair before? Yeah, so it's kind of like a repeat of that, I guess, so, okay.
Commissioner Chakarian,
Yes.
Commissioner Bazemore,
yes,
Chairperson Werner,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pinkerton.
Yes.
right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you all. Yes, okay.
Okay, what do we have next on the agenda?
Next is B, selection of ex officio recruitment ad hoc committee. 1, motion selecting 1 voting member and 2 ex officio members of the Sustainability Commission to serve as ad hoc student member selection committee to conduct the screening and selection of qualified candidates for interviews.
Chairperson Werner, members of the Sustainability Commission. Again, this is the other annual role that the Commission takes to select the ad hoc committee to undertake the selection and interviews of the candidates to serve for ex officios for the 2025-2026 Commission term. Staff have already begun advertising the positions on social media and at in-person events to make sure that we do have enough candidates. The application for the positions closed June 15th, with interviews to be completed by June 25th of this year, and then the recommendations of the candidates will be then made to the full commission at the July 3rd commission meeting, and at that meeting the commissioners will select the next officios to start their role, to start their term at the August Sustainability Commission meeting. So we have the two ex officios who would be part of the ad hoc committee, and we need one voting member of the commission to be on that ad hoc committee too. Staff will, once we've identified the voting member, staff will set up the interviews and everything once we have all the candidates in. So your role will just be to work with the ex officios on the interview process and selection process.
And would staff be sending the communications to the different schools? I know one year the commissioners did it and with mixed results, but is it being handled by staff this year?
We have been sending information to all the schools.
Okay.
And through as many outlets as we can. We've got our hourly worker, Austin, working on this to making sure that we communicate to as many people as we can about the position.
Okay. So is there any interest in being the person on the committee to serve with the ex officios?
I'd be happy to serve.
Okay. So
Roll call.
that works for me. So yeah, let's have roll call.
Commissioner Chakarian,
Yes.
Commissioner Bazemore, Chairperson Werner,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pinkerton.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for doing that.
Next is reports and information. A, City of Glendale Sustainability Commission 2025-26 Work Plan.
Yes, so Chairperson Werner and members of the Sustainability Commission, in light of that we do have a new commission member, we just thought we'd briefly go over the work plan that the commission had voted on back earlier on this year. And we can either ask questions now or I'll be available for questions too that the commissioner may wish to ask. So this is just, we'll go through this very, very quickly and yeah, let's go. So, as you recall, the Commission has a number of focus areas for 2025. These are outreach, building systems, urban ecosystems, mobility and land use, and social and governance systems. So within these focused areas, the Commission has selected a number of actions that they would wish to undertake to try and push forward in these different focus areas and extend the work of the Commission. Next slide, please. So regarding outreach engagement, the key projects that the Commission landed on this year were for the student-led engagement projects, working on Earth Day, which we're going to report on just in a couple of minutes. To continue the recruitment of ex officio members, but also increasing direct public contact and working on collaborative community and city projects and meeting with community members at public events. Regarding mobility and land use, the Commission landed on supporting Vision Zero plans, which you know focused on reducing accidents within the city and the expansion of EV charging infrastructure. Regarding building systems, the Commission landed on review the demand response programs that are currently managed by GWP, but also I think in light of what happened with the recent fires, reserve setbacks as fire separation and bring fire resistance to the forefront of the new construction and remodels, such as promoting the use of non-compostable materials. Just as an FYI on this, we have reached out to Firewise and the US Green Building Council fire teams to hopefully get them to come present to the Commission at some point this year. Regarding urban ecosystems, the Commission landed on support the expansion of green spaces and parks, specifically prioritizing what's going on in South Glendale. To support Lose the Lawn grass recycling campaign, and then to review green waste diversion programs and consider options for improving adherence to SB 1383. We hopefully will have the integrated waste management team come to present at the August Commission meeting on the diversion programs and also on e-waste collection programs. And then also, finally, reduce dependence on outside water resources. And then finally, regarding social and government systems, the Commission landed on providing recommendations to City Council on state legislation. And we hope to have the legislative review consultants that we have up in Sacramento to present at the September Commission meeting. Review the waste audits to determine if the city has programs, ordinances addressing elements of prominent elements of waste stream. Again, that will be addressed by the Integrated Waste Management Team at the August meeting. Review the progress of the adopted CAP measures and actions. We'll talk about the CAP in a minute. And assess the effectiveness of cooling centres and other heat resilience measures for residents and vulnerable populations. And evaluate the effectiveness of fire evacuation resources. So I know it's been a while since January since we met, but we just wanted to review and just be able to answer any questions regarding the work plan. That was all agreed on and voted on by the Commission, so we look forward to putting in place those programs going forward to try and achieve as much of the work plan as we can for 2025.
David, regarding the Vision Zero plan, I did want to just mention to you and to everyone, if needed, we have to reappoint someone to that committee or that planning group. I forget what they call it, the PDT. Now that all of us have been reappointed, it'd be great to bring that back if possible. I believe I was the last one on there, and I've been told that I might not be able to attend until we formalize it. Yep.
We'll bring that to the June Commission meeting.
And then a question, so regarding the waste diversion in August and then the legislative review in September, are there other presentations or items on here that have been scheduled or considered for future meetings? Okay.
Not at this time.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
I have been asking for, I know we had a couple of months off there, so trying to get back on track here, but I was inquiring about the effectiveness of the cooling centers and heat resistance, and whatever department that is that deals with those, if they could come to a meeting and let us know, like, do we have enough of them? Are people utilizing them? Is there something, resources they have or don't have, or something that we can make recommendations on to help that.
Thank you, Chairperson Werner. We're going to try and aim for July for Commission meeting.
June would be even better because by July it's going to be really hot. So just trying to stay ahead of the inevitable heat wave. But yeah, I understand it might take longer, but it would be nice.
It's a question of reaching out to staff and other departments,
Yeah.
getting on their calendars.
Yeah, I just don't know who, that, I guess it's that's part of it, is it's a little mysterious, like who actually runs those and so on. So, I've asked, fire department, it's not them, and, so I think people just need more transparency on what that is and where to go and all that kind of thing. Okay, what's our next item?
Next is Sustainability Office updates, Earth Day 2025, and Climate Action Adaptation Plan. Alrighty, I'm gonna walk you guys through everything we've done since February, since it's been a while. In March, we held a clothing and art supply swap, as well as a repair cafe the following week. This clothing swap and art supply swap was our biggest one to date. We had 120 people come by for a 2-hour event. We had collected about 590 pounds of clothing, and we swapped about 490. For the art supplies, we had about 16 boxes and counting. People were bringing them in and taking them out throughout the event. And for the batteries, we had collected 16 pounds of batteries for recycling. And for the repair cafe, we repaired about 56 items, including 4 bikes for the first time, because we had bike repair people. Any questions before I move on?
Who did you have doing the bike repair?
It was someone who was available from the Pasadena Repair Cafe,
Oh, great.
and they
Cool.
hadn't been available before.
Glad you found someone. Good.
Just a quick question. Are you issuing any press releases or publicizing this info somewhere online? Okay, because I think
Correct.
fabulous turnout. This
Yeah.
is great. Thank you.
How many bikes were repaired?
4.
4? Oh, okay, 4. That's great.
And afterwards, we had Earth Day Fair just recently in April 26th. It was a rainy morning in the beginning, but then the sun came out and the goats came out and people came out. We had goats for the first time, so we did goat yoga at the Earth Day Fair. And we also unveiled the city's first ever electric bus. It's one of the 5 ready electric buses that will be hitting the streets pretty soon. These buses were supported from grant money, and there will be more coming. And we also had booths there. A lot of community organizations came out, including Food Cycle LA and Food Forward, who are food recovery organizations. We also had Athens Services, our integrated waste management team, and environmental organizations such as GEC, Walk by Glendale, Parks and Open Spaces, and Hoover High School Climate Club was also there, and they were doing an activity. Mary, if you'd like to jump in and talk about that.
Sure. So part of my student project was to advocate for more students to show up to this event and really make it more available and enticing for younger generations to get involved. We had quite a few volunteers from my school specifically, amongst other GUSD schools, and in particular at our booth, we were giving out free pottings. It was a potting station and seed bomb making station. So about 40 seed bombs were made that the people who made it could take home, as well as like a little pot decorating station where a lot of cute little kids came and enjoyed that activity for sure, and got introduced to, greenery and enjoying gardening. I believe about 140 were taken home, so people really showed up to the booth, and I was really happy to see the turnout.
And Mary was responsible for about 23 students coming out and volunteering for Earth Day Fair. So, thank you.
Wow.
And then we have upcoming events.
Before we move on, I just want to acknowledge the amount of work that Nora puts into planning the Earth Day, getting the permits, organizing all the vendors. It takes a couple of months to put on this event, and she works really, really hard. And so, yeah, I just want to acknowledge the great work that she does.
Yes, thank you.
We have more upcoming events. On May 4th, there's a Verdugo 10K run if anyone is interested. It's a fundraiser for the Parks and Open Space Foundation. On May 10th, as Samantha mentioned, it's our teen clothing and Palmer tire swap. May 17th, the county is putting on a free tire recycling event. This is only available to households, not businesses, but it's going to be at Lot 30, which is nearby at Verdugo Park. And on May 24th, our office is holding a guided nature hike at Catalina Verdugo Trail. It's in collaboration with LA Works, and they will be walking through the trail and going through native plants and the benefits of native plants for our wildlife. And on May 31st, it's the Let's Go Glendale Open Street event in collaboration with Metro. Our community development department is hosting that event. June 7th, we're coming back with the clothing swaps. June 14th, Repair Cafe.
I'm curious as well. It's not so much within the purview, I guess, of what's normally done by your office, but I'm wondering about something like an unveiling of these electric buses when they're actually going to be in service. And then also, I know there's something about there was like a city-owned solar that was going to be unveiled too. Are either of those scheduled? Do you know?
The city-owned solar on Perkins has been unveiled. Because of concerns of people coming out to the roof, it was live streamed, so the live stream does exist.
Okay.
And for the buses, there was a time crunch, so they unveiled it during Earth Day Fair, and they invited people to walk into the bus.
That's right. Okay. So did they give any estimate on when they're actually going to be used? That was something I was wondering.
I'm not too sure, but I know it's pretty soon.
Okay. Because if there was a way for like, the first bus ride on the EV bus,
Yeah.
that'd be really cool to have
Yeah.
everyone out for that. I mean, it's great to see it parked in the parking lot, but if it's actually like
On the
juiced up
street.
and going, that'd be really, really fun.
We can definitely follow up and see if we can, capture that on video or live stream.
Okay.
Just a quick question on the tire recycling. Is it a limit of 5 tires? Do you know? Usually you can only transport, I think it's 5.
Let me check. And all this information is available on glendaleca.gov/community, which is our new website,
Yay.
which we unveiled back in February.
That's the sustainability's webpage, or that's the city? So community/community now goes to the sustainability webpage?
/sustainability goes to the sustainability homepage, yeah. And community goes to my event page
The event
with
page,
all the
okay, thank
events,
you.
yeah.
Great.
I see no limits on the tires. It says even 10 or more will be accepted, including rims. Yeah. And our climate action adaptation plan is also now available for public review. David, if you'd like to jump in.
Sure, thank you, Nora. So the notice has been issued, notice of intent to adopt the negative declaration for the initial study. That comment period has been extended through May 19th of 2025. So we do encourage people to go to glendaleca.gov/CAAP, where that document is available and where people can review. And there's links there of how to send comments directly to me via email or provide comments to the planning division, but primarily contact me with comments, and then we'll accumulate all those comments, and at the end of the comment period, we'll then address those comments. We hope to have the climate action adaptation plan adopted by the City Council this summer. That is our intended timeline, so we're trying to stick to that. The plan, as when you go and read it, it's all the work has been done. It's pretty finalized and everything. So we're really excited about what has been included in the plan, and we hopefully it will get adopted, and then we can start working on some of these actions in the plan. But if you go to this website, you'll see the climate action plan and all the appendices to, and all the accompanying documents like the climate vulnerability assessment, the greenhouse gas inventory, the technical analysis. So all that information is available for public review at this time.
So I had a question about that. I know for a while the link wasn't working, even as recently as 2 days ago, but, so I'm glad it's working now, but this isn't actually the negative declaration, though. This is the draft plan, or is the negative declaration attached to that, or?
The negative, you will find the negative declaration at that address.
So I couldn't find anything called negative declaration. There was something that was called initial study, which made me think, oh, that's what they had when they were coming up with all this. But then when you click on that, then it says initial study, negative declaration. So is that what I'm supposed to be looking at? And if I'm confused, I think that the public's going to be confused. So it needs to be labeled what it is. Like, is this, they're announcing a negative declaration, the thing should be called a negative declaration, because the link sends them to a website, and they have to scroll past other things, like for the community development block grant, EIR or something, and scroll and then try to figure out which of these is the thing that they're supposed to be commenting on, and that's a lot to ask of the public.
Is this the webpage for the CAP that you're referring to?
For the public comment on the proposed negative declaration, so the comment window is open now, and so time is running out for people to comment, but it's difficult to figure out what to look at to comment on.
Yeah, okay, because I just went to at least the Rincon hosted webpage. I'm not sure if that's the same as this one here. I'm about to type that in. And at least on the other one I was looking at, this is the one that has, it's glendaleCap.rincon consulting. Yeah, this one here that you just had.
Right.
So is that a different webpage than what was just shown on that previous slide?
Correct.
Okay. Because that has actually what you're talking about, has the negative declaration and has the
Yeah, so-
link to
so-
the documentation
Yeah,
and
so when you
whatnot.
look at that page, so it says, you scroll past that one that's not even relevant, and then you go there, and then it kind of goes in a circle. You hit, oh, notice of intent. Oh, wait, there's two. And then, oh, maybe it's the comment period
Correct.
one, and then you click on that, and then you go back in a circle, and it sends you back to this page again, and it's like, oh, this is fun. And then there's the other thing called the initial study. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go down the list and click on everything. And then I clicked on initial study, and then kind of in fine print under, because I wouldn't think initial study is the final draft, negative declaration. It should say negative declaration for public comment or something that just makes it like super easy, or the PDF, just you put a link in there, you click on it, and it takes you right to the document. That's actually would be the most
I
ideal.
had the same
thing.
concerns, which is why the initial link was glendalecia.gov/environmental. It was the initial study, the first one that we did. So, but most recently, we updated it to glendalecia.gov/cap, and that's the Rincon consultant site. So now it's all in one document. Then you view draft cap, and then you
Just none today, because
Yeah.
when I looked yesterday, it wasn't fixed. And so this comment period was reopened, and we've lost, another couple weeks. Or if anyone was trying to find this, they would have had the same difficulty I did, but, so, okay. So that helps. So right now, so that says view draft cap, so that's the thing that people are supposed to look at and go, okay, this is what I'm commenting on, yeah, so, okay. I'm glad that, I don't know if we need to push the date out again, because it took 2 weeks to fix the bad link, or, I don't know.
We communicate out the link and the correction, but I don't think we need to probably extend.
I mean, yeah, I wish there were thousands of people just waiting to review this and comment, but it's just the idea that, it's public comment period, and it was difficult for the public to access it.
We apologize for that.
Have you been getting comments? Are you able to share that at all, David?
Well, we've received one comment
Okay,
so far.
okay.
So Jillian, do you think we should extend it legally speaking, since it was a little difficult for people to comment, or?
Madam Chair, members of the commission, we'll need to take a look at what you're referencing. I would like to review along with staff to make sure the documents were available there. If there was anything impeding the ability to find the documents and review them within the 30-day period. So it's possible it could get extended. It wouldn't be the first time that CEQA review has been extended to allow the public to have adequate time. But let us take a look at that so that we'll know whether or not it would be appropriate or reasonable to extend it. Of course, we want to be conservative about that to make sure that the public has had adequate time to read both the documents, understand them, and then also to submit comments during the public comment period. So we will take a look at it for sure.
Right. Okay, and things were a little, disrupted, like there was the commission wasn't meeting, the last 2 months because of all the, the reboot of the boards and commissions. So I think, we should err on the side of giving everyone, all the opportunity, we can to engage with that.
Clearly, if the links were not active in the way that they needed to be, that's something.
Yeah, one
that
was just
would-
broken, that the one that seemed like it would go to the right place was just offline, and I had pointed out a couple weeks ago, and every time I checked, it was still like that, so I don't know who, puts that there, but I guess just yesterday it was fixed. I'm glad it was fixed, but what about the last 2 weeks, and people tried to access it, so,
Definitely worth looking into, and we will.
okay. Next on, was that the end of it? Okay, thank you.
next is adjournment.
Okay. Oh, I do have something I'd like to ask. Maybe it's more procedural than anything else, but I noticed when the gentleman was up here speaking that they were showing his backside instead of his face. I know City Council recently started doing that, and I find it very disrespectful to the speaker. Is that can we have our own rule for showing people's faces when they're speaking?
We'll look into that for you as well and get back to you on whether it's appropriate for commissions to shift the policy that was set by the city council. in that
Okay,
regard.
great. Thank you. Do we have a
Move to
motion?
adjourn.
Okay. Second.
Flash flood warning for East Central Los Angeles County in southwestern California and eastern Antelope Valley until 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 6:09 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Doppler radar and automated rain gauges indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 1 and 2 inches of rain have fallen. Flash flooding is already occurring. Hazard, life-threatening flash flooding. Thunderstorms producing flash flooding. Source, radar and automated gauges. Impact, life-threatening flash flooding of creeks and